And hello, this is Troy Warren with Jim Jonas and Steve Sanson with Veterans in Politics. We got the show going on today. However, Jim Jonas had an emergency come up. He won't be here today. I'm sure Steve is out campaigning like crazy right now because, you know, he's running for Assembly District 13 and early voting just closed, and I know we've got the primary, the actual day of voting on Tuesday, so I'm sure he's out doing that. Today we're going to have Rodney Smith from Congressional District 4. We're also going to have Christina Ortiz, the financial gal for Reuben D'Silva, an independent who's running for office. We actually have Reuben in house tonight.
He actually showed up.
Yeah, he actually showed up with her, so it could be a very interesting show. Mm-hmm. Kind of want to talk about the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals up in San Francisco saying that the at-will for CCWs in California stands, that we as American citizens, based on the Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, we don't have a right to carry outside of our homes. I don't know if anybody else, what do you think about that?
I think it's total BS.
Bullshit?
Yeah, just a little bit of bullshit mixed in.
Yeah, it's kind of like, can you get any more anti-gun liberal crap?
Since when did this kick in? Because it's been, over 200 freaking years that we've been allowed to do this. It's been in the Constitution standing steady at that point. Now all of a sudden, all this stuff is non-constitutional. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with it. I put out a post the other day, or actually last night. I'm sick and tired of asking the government for permission to do stuff. Don't
they work for us?
That's my understanding.
That's what I thought at one point too.
Yeah, and it just seems like we're supposed to go and beg and ask for permission to do stuff.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, it was my God-given right to carry a gun based on the Constitution.
Exactly right. But yet now all of a sudden these rights are no longer being upheld because that wasn't what was intended. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's such crap. I don't. One of the things I did put on the post on that was.
Oh, we got him.
Oh, well,
there he is.
Steve just showed up. Look at that. One of the things that I said was, I was disappointed in the ruling. However, I'm not angry. And the reason why I'm not angry is the simple fact that, you know what? That's one step closer to a 1776 reboot. I am so ready. I'm telling you, I am ready. You anti-gunners, I don't know what your malfunction is, but I'm telling you, you're about to lose a battle that you've started. I'm telling you what, you've poked the bear too many times as far as I'm concerned. What do you think?
Exactly right. Yeah, my bike's, that's what's
Oh, okay. So, anyways, well, Steve has just joined us in. How you doing, Steve?
Poke the bear?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, that Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals up in San Francisco, they poked the bear.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
How's
that unconstitutional? You're carrying a concealed weapon. How's that unconstitutional?
It's not.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, you carry, right?
You think?
Well, me too.
I don't want to carry open. That make people nervous.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Part of the thing about carrying open though is exercising your constitutional right to carry.
Yeah.
And so, like even in California, now that they're still saying that it's at will, you have to have a great excuse, a reason why you need to carry crap.
Right.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I've been to California a lot. I have a lot of guys and gals I ride with down there. I carry everywhere.
What happened to Jim Jonas today?
I got a text from him. He had a little issue at work. And he just texted me and said, "Hey, man, sorry for the short notice." I'm like, "Well, it's a good thing I'm here."
Wow, that's just craziness, crazy. So, look what I got in my mailbox today. Yesterday.
Paul Anderson, courage, honor, and really?
Does this make you think that he served in the military?
It looks like it.
Home of the free, because of the brave.
Dude, that guy's a joke.
Really?
Have you been watching his commercials?
He's been manipulating voters.
You think?
Oh, my God. Now he's going to act like he served in the military.
Well, what's ironic is the commercial he's got with our governor.
Oh, he's got a commercial?
Oh, yeah,
I didn't even
the
see
governor.
That.
Oh, dude, and they're standing side by. I don't know who's blowing who in that deal.
Actually on TV?
On TV.
Oh, wow.
You've been out campaigning, so you probably have been watching a lot of TV.
Well, I got commercials too, but they're on social media.
Yeah.
But
no, this is on like Channel 8, Channel 3.
He is
A&E.
scared.
Oh,
that's a scared guy.
Dude, he's petrified.
That's scared. That's called fair.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Wow.
Oh, you know what? I have to digress. It's the wrong guy. He's not with
who?
The governor.
Yeah, he is.
But what I'm saying is the commercial's not with him, with the governor.
Oh, who's it with?
I don't remember now.
It was with him, though.
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking two different guys.
Wow.
Dude, you know, there is such a flood of political stuff going on right now. It's, you know what I've been watching?
What?
Vikings on DVR.
Yeah. But you know something. People, Americans, Nevadans, everybody have to come to the conclusion, if they don't get up and do something about the crap that's going on in this country and community, we're just going to be screwed.
Or we're going to be SOL.
Yeah. So they should get involved and people say, well, I don't like all these robocalls. I don't like people knocking on my door. Right? And then if you don't do it, be like, I never heard of you. How come you don't come? And it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Remember, I don't know if you remember or not, when I ran in 2014 and you interviewed me for the very first time, we had a caller call in and she says, yeah, I've never had anybody knock on my door and ask me for their vote.
Yeah.
But yet when you go and do it, all of a sudden you're a bad guy.
Yeah. And you know something? And you got people with no solicitation on their doors, no trespassing on their doors, or they're in some kind of gated community you can't get in, or it's a guarded community. So the only way to get in there is with A, mailer, B, radio, C, TV, or D, robocall.
Yeah, because I'm telling you what, you definitely
you can't knock on those doors.
No, you definitely have to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to that stuff, because the other thing is, and I know you've spent quite a little bit on your campaign, but everybody was going, oh, it takes tens of thousands of dollars to win a campaign, and I'm thinking to myself, well, let's see, I spent $591.86 in 2014, and I captured 40% of the vote as an unknown.
That's good.
So I don't know what you're spending, but I know you're probably not spending what he could do. That piece of information looks pretty spendy.
We had several mailers go out.
Did you?
Yeah, and there were some PACs that are against them, and they did some mailers too against them.
Oh, okay.
But my campaign is very strategic, and we're very frugal. And if we drop a dime, you better believe we got 11 to 15 cents out of that damn dime. Just to let you know, you know what I mean? So you
spend a dime, you got 11 cents, 11 and a half cents out of it, right?
Exactly. So my campaign total so far, I believe right around 23,000, I think.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Far. And I'm going up against somebody that's got about 200, 150,000.
Oh, he definitely has a war chest.
Yeah. So.
And and not a very good record.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that some of the endorsements that I'm seeing. I saw the other day Derek Armstrong, Assemblyman Derek Armstrong.
He's not the Marines that I'm used to being around.
Well, anyways, he posted the other day that he received the endorsement of the Henderson Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. Well, my question is Henderson Chamber of Commerce, what's your malfunction? They just screwed your people.
Yeah. 150% business, 150% on business license.
Yeah, I don't understand how this happens. Talk about sheep.
Yeah, but anyways, we're supposed to have two guests today, Troy. One of them is Rodney
Smith from CD4,
congressional candidate, and the other one is Christina Ortiz, who's the financial chair for.
Reuben D'Silva.
Reuben D'Silva, running for
as an independent.
Yes,
running as an independent.
So let's take a commercial break. You don't got anything else, right?
Oh, I've got plenty, but I'm done for now.
Do. Let's take a commercial break. This is Steve Sanson, Troy Warren, Veterans in Politics. Don't go away, folks. We're going to have Christina Ortiz, who's the financial chair for Reuben D'Silva, congressional candidate for District 3. We'll be right back.
My name is Heidi Hanus, and I'm a marriage and family therapist. I recently opened my own practice under the name of Faith Individual and Family Counseling in the area of Summerlin. I have been practicing family therapy for 14 years, and I work well with individuals, children, teens, couples, and most of all, families. I have experience in a variety of areas, which include family conflict, communication issues, grief, anxiety, depression, anger issues, addiction, adjustment to life changes, trauma, and most forms of mood disorder. The agency work I have done has given me the experience to work with all levels of issues from severe to mild. I believe in change and positive outcome. If you are interested to begin change, you can reach me at 702-370-4244 or hanusa@cs.com. Thank you.
Nevada Legal Forms and Tax Services have been serving Nevada. Nevada Legal Forms and Tax Services, the reliable option for your legal and tax matters. The original do-it-yourself legal source store with paralegals, registered document preparers, and enrolled agents to assist you when you need it. Need help getting divorced, starting your business, or just filing your taxes? Nevada Legal Forms is there for you. Nevada Legal Forms has over 1,000 legal forms and do-yourself kits for all your everyday matters. Nevada Legal Forms, the best place to start. Nevada Legal Forms and Tax Services is not a law office or have attorneys on staff and cannot give legal advice.
Nevada Legal Forms, Charleston and Valley View. Call 702-870-0977 or online at nevadalegalforms.com.
Hi, my name's Annette Levy. Did you know that we usually elect judges based solely on name recognition? So here goes. My name's Annette Levy. My name's Annette Levy. My name's Annette Levy. Now, for those of you who might want to know a little more, I have 29 years legal experience, 15 years arbitrator, 11 years judge pro tem. I'm ethical. I'm experienced. I want to be your district court judge in Department 20. And by the way, my name's Annette Levy.
Paid for by the Committee to Elect Annette Levy. If you'd like to know more, visit her website at electannette.com.
Folks, we are back. This is Steve Sanson, Troy Warren, Veterans in Politics. We have Christina Ortiz, who's the financial chair for Reuben D'Silva, running for Congressional District 4 my bad, Congressional District 1.
Uno. You know what? We have a little bonus, though.
You know what? This campaign is really, really messing my head. I used to be all in tune, and now I'm like slipping up. I don't know what's going on.
I don't either. However, we have bonus today. We actually have the candidate in-house.
Right.
So we get to grill him, too.
And we also have is it a campaign manager back there?
Oh, this is my senior aide.
Senior aide.
Senior aide.
Not the junior aide.
The senior aide.
But the senior,
big dog.
The senior aide. Yes. So
let's start with the good-looking woman here.
The good-looking Irish woman. With a Spanish last name. Let me just add that in there. Irish with a Spanish last name. Yes. Who's helping an Indian? Was it Indian?
Yeah,
Indian
American.
Indian American.
Just so you know, that's from India. Indian, not Native American Indian.
Yes.
So
yes, I mean she's like a UN.
She is.
Swear. I swear.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk to her. Christina Ortiz, how you doing today, ma'am?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good. Hi, y'all.
Hi, y'all. Well, now she's
Southern.
Irish. She's Southern.
Southern now. Damn.
Think you can get any redder?
I haven't been outside yet, so it's probably bound to happen.
Christina, could you tell us a little bit about you?
Well, I started in politics at 13. I worked with both Heck and Heller's campaign. And I worked in George Bush's campaigns, both of them, just making phone calls, walking door to door, going to town halls, and on the speech and debate team. So I kind of grew up within the politics.
Okay.
And then it just seemed like a natural progression to work with such a candidate that I felt so passionate about and was willing and able to support.
And who are you talking about?
Reuben D'Silva from CD1.
So, how did he strike you? I mean, what passion are we talking about here?
Well, months ago, before I even knew he was running, he came into my office at Bank of America and
to rob it.
God, I hope not.
Oh, okay.
Because I won't. And I hope not. But
He needed a loan or something?
well, he was talking about wanting to open a restaurant business.
Ah.
And he had so much passion, and he came in like knocking on my door just as we were ready to close.
What type of food?
I don't know what kind
It
of
was
food.
actually a Japanese ramen. That's
The guy's Indian. He's going to open up a Japanese restaurant.
For entrepreneurs, there's a need for
What
ramen
the
restaurants
hell?
in
You know,
Las
I go to El
Vegas.
Pollo Loco. I see the Chinese guys there.
Yeah.
I went to this Alberto's, and there was a Scottish American in there working. I'm like, where's the Mexican guy? I go to a Mexican restaurant. I mean, go to an Italian restaurant like Boca de Pepos, and there was a Mexican guy over there taking my.
They
I'm
were
like,
filling a need.
this screwed me up in the head.
Called you in.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Miss Ortiz.
So I didn't even know what restaurant he wanted to open, but he had a lot of passion, and
Right.
he really cared about what he was doing.
Okay.
And then 3 months later, he approached me and said, "Yo, I'm running for against Dina Titus," and I said, "Well, I'm ready for her to be out."
Right.
And I believe in a lot of what you said, and he's more progressive than I am in a lot of areas because I'm extremely conservative.
Right.
But
So you Republican?
I'm a registered Republican.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's up?
And so being able to, he
Okay.
said, "Well, you know the finances. Do you want to help?" And it was just, I said no for like 3 months, but
He wasn't.
He was persistent.
he wasn't
wasn't
giving
he?
up on me. And,
Wow.
3 months came in. Some time happened, and I was ready.
So you run his finances.
I run his finances.
So what was his report on the report number 2?
So I'm not going to disclose his finances in front of public air.
Whoa. It is disclosed.
It is disclosed. I had to file one last night,
Yeah,
too.
I filed one yesterday too.
No.
It was about us. We're working on building up a war chest, but it came out to about 6,800 that we've raised so far.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it will be.
And who are you?
Oh, I'm Reuben D'Silva.
That's right. We have the candidate in the
And I
house.
have to also mention one thing about Christina and I. We actually know each other from middle school, so this isn't a recent relationship.
Middle
This is
school?
something that goes way back.
So did you ask her out? Back in the day, or
I was too shy.
I was
She
way too young. I was 2 years younger, and my mom was the principal. And
the principal. Oh,
no one was asking the principal's daughter out.
No. That's going.
That's a disaster.
That's like asking the sheriff's daughter out.
Oh yeah.
In a small town.
Yeah, and it's the diocese, and it's a way small town.
Yeah, we're the Catholic middle school. Yeah. That's an added.
So Reuben D'Silva, thank you for being here.
Thank
as
you
well.
for having me. Very
To tell
excited.
us a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Reuben D'Silva. I've been living in Las Vegas since I was 6 years old. My family actually immigrated here from India.
Wow.
We lived in. I was born in
So,
India.
so we need to back that up just a little bit. You came here illegally, correct?
Yes.
So
we
you're
came here, and my dad brought us out here.
There's about
for him.
There's about was it 3 billion of you?
No, yeah.
How many?
I think
How
the
many?
estimate is at 1.3 billion right now. China is at 1.6. So between China and India together, we make up a significant
My
percentage
God.
of the global population.
There's 1.3 billion of you.
1.3.
Well, you know what they like to do.
We've been doing it for us millennia now. It seems like.
Don't you guys take up like knitting or watching Oprah or something?
Oh man, those shows actually getting very popular out there. We have a thriving Hollywood American culture focused entertainment industry out there. Big
All
time.
right, continue on.
Go.
Yes.
Kids with
So my family, we moved to New York City. We lived in New York City.
What part?
Queens.
Oh, I'm Bronx. What's up?
Okay, yeah, no doubt, no
cool.
doubt.
Yeah.
I lived in we lived in Flushing, Queens.
Flushing. I got jumped over there. Was that you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe when I was a toddler, I was a part of the little toddler group. I think that was running around.
Yeah, he's jumping you when he was like 6 months old. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, you never know. They train him quick.
that's New York City. It's a crazy, different world out there. So we moved to Las Vegas when I was 6.
Right.
I went to a CP Squires elementary school, J.E. Manch middle elementary school, and then my dad decided that I was getting a little trouble out there, in the North Las Vegas streets. Put us in private school, and that's when I met Christina.
Didn't you go to school, my son?
Yeah, at Rancho High School.
Well, was he older? Or?
He was 2 years younger than me.
2 years younger than
He's
you.
class of 05.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. I'm giving away my age.
Little Steve. Yeah. So I went on to Rancho High School, graduated from Rancho High School. After I graduated from Rancho, did one semester at CSN and was recruited by the Navy at first, but decided to go with the Marines simply because
That's
of that
right.
uniform,
You know what's
how
up.
badass it was.
That's right.
And
Marines.
Yes,
Marines.
yes, sir.
Right. Hoorah.
Hoorah, hoorah.
Improvise
What
overcome
was
and
your
adapt.
what was your MOS in the Corps?
I was a 3533 LVS operator, which breaks down to a truck driver pretty much. I can drive
Alright.
any and all vehicles in the
So
Marine Corps.
you did convoys and all that?
Oh yeah. That was our bread and butter in Iraq.
So how many tours you did in Iraq?
I did one tour and
Okay.
got injured.
Thank you for
on my
your
first one.
service.
Thank you for your service as well. I know
Yeah.
You know, he combat injury.
Yeah, Reuben's missing out the most important part is that he's a Purple Heart recipient.
Reuben, whoa! You're a Purple Heart?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You didn't know how to duck?
It was a sniper. It was a sniper. A sniper hit me. You don't see those things coming. And as a Marine, you know that's the whole point.
Wow, did you just really go there?
I did.
He hit me once. He hit me on his first
but
shot.
I could go there though. But if you go there, he'd probably want to knock you out.
Yeah.
He'd have to pack a lunch.
Oh, you gonna let him talk to a Marine
we got
like
this
that?
McMaps here, man. I mean, I don't know.
Tell him don't underestimate you.
Max
You're a
martial
Marine.
art training here.
That's right. You'll
But
take his moped. I mean, his motorcycle.
Did you just call my Harley a moped?
Yeah, but he did get me on his first round.
And Banditos, I meant that with all respect.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I'm only talking to Troy Warren, just to let you know. So I know you guys know where I live, so don't.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you got a Purple Heart for that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got
Wow.
hit Fallujah, Iraq, June 6th, actually, 2007.
Where were you hit?
Through the forearm.
Wow.
While I was manning a 240 Golf machine gun, I
God
was
bless you.
stabilizing the machine. God did bless me. I mean, I think about that day all the time.
Right.
And it was a life-changing moment. You know, I just started taking life more seriously after that.
So on a funny side, the guy was a bad shot.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
yeah, I'm
Thank
glad he
God
was.
he
I'm
was a
glad he
bad
was.
shot.
I'm glad he was. You know,
But
because,
on a serious side, I'm sorry that ever happened to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, I think about that moment all the time. It's something that I think, to be real with you, it was a blessing in disguise in many ways, because I was just another college frat boy partying, you know, not taking life as seriously as I should have. My GPA wasn't all strong.
And
I bet your life got serious.
that
after
made
didn't
you
it?
humble all of a
I
sudden.
really started thinking about just, and I'm a person of faith,
Right.
You know, and this was a wake up call, really, or a message from God saying, look, you got to take your life seriously. I've given you this opportunity to live.
Right.
I brought you into existence. And do something with it. And it was one of those moments where I just looked at everything in a different focus. It was as well, how can I better myself, and in the end, spread these blessings to other people? And that's been like my core philosophy ever since.
Good for you, man.
Wow. I don't even know how to respond to that.
No, there is no
Getting
responding
real,
to that.
But Mr. D'Silva, so what are you gonna do for if you were to be elected? What do you plan on doing?
You know, first and foremost, I'm running as an independent for a specific reason, and I was somebody who was more involved with the Democratic Party. You know, I'm running on a more progressive platform.
Right.
And one of my biggest issues.
Are you fiscally conservative?
I'm a fiscally responsible. I would say. You know, I think that's more
That's
appropriate
fair enough.
term to
Yeah.
use. You know, we have to be responsible,
Right.
with especially at the congressional
Especially
level,
because you got a
national level.
financial chair,
Yeah.
so you got to.
Who is a conservative here? Who is keeping us on the
Well,
straight
I mean-
and narrow, keeping our budgeting right?
Reuben, I have to say, has got to be fiscally conservative because I'm fiscally conservative, so I'm not going to let him spend money.
That's
You
right.
spend a sliver of.
So you're not a tree hugging liberal then. Is what I'm saying.
I would say that I'm a pragmatic progressive who's willing to engage with the other side,
Okay.
and who's willing to sit down. And I'm big on like the whole ethos of the founding in this country.
Right.
You know, when you look at these different, these diverse individuals with all a multiplicity of viewpoints as to what this new American nation needed to be, they came together in Philadelphia in 1787, and it really was a miracle. They hammered out this document, the US Constitution,
Right.
which really was a coming together of different sorts of peoples. You had your anti-federalists, your federalists, a whole plethora of different viewpoints, and they hammered out this document.
You
through
graduated from
negotiation.
UNLV?
I graduated from UNLV with a degree in American history from my undergrad. Yes, sir.
How many years?
It took me 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I did serve in the Marines. It took me out for a while.
Going back to the fiscally being responsible, do you think the VA and the IRS is too big to do an audit on?
No, nobody's too big to do an audit on.
Okay.
Nobody.
Would you
That would
think-
be a correct answer.
Would you think that they should have not just an audit but a forensic audit on both the VA
I think
and the
anything involved
IRS?
in the public sector has to be up to the rigorous
Do
audit.
you
So
think-
you'd be up to you'd be up to doing that to the feds then, to the Federal Reserve.
To everybody, I think. If you're involved in public enterprises of any sort of, and the Federal Reserve I know is a coming together of the private entities that are doing their thing, setting up our interest rates and all that. You should be transparent and you should be open. You have to be. I mean, that's just my take on politics, especially politics in a democracy period.
Okay.
You have to be open and transparent and open to and subject to scrutiny.
Okay.
You're running for office as well.
Right.
I'm running for office, and that's the decision that we made before going to office, and we're going to be subject to scrutiny.
I know you didn't hear my rant. For every dime I spent, I try to get about 11 or 12 cents out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the way it should be. That's fiscal responsibility.
So with his financial chair, I think she does probably a pretty good job of doing that too, based on his conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would hope that with every ounce of effort we put in, you guys talk about fiscally conservative just as it's a money, but another thing that you have to mention is time.
Mm-hmm.
Time is money, and when you
Right.
put your time into something, you would like to see a return.
Yeah,
And
that's important.
Very important.
I would like to know if we're going to talk about the VA and the feds and the IRS, not only audit them on their money, but on the time. Where is their time being spent? How much time are we actually spending?
Right.
And what are
Time
we
is
paying
money.
for? Because it's one of the biggest things. Time is money.
So Miss Ortiz, do you have any fundraisers coming up for Mr. D'Silva here?
We just did his first kickoff at the Indian Origin here.
Oh,
this
go
past
figure,
week
the
on
Indian
Wednesday.
I mean,
And-
we're gonna
Origin
go to
India
a
because
place
I'm
that's
originally
the
from
spot
India.
right
Yeah.
there. Did you run into Swati Nijam?
I've met him actually, but I haven't. He wasn't there at this event.
You didn't allow him to be there that time.
He could have showed up. I'm open to any and all.
As long as he
people.
brought an envelope.
Not even with. He could have just showed up and just said what's up, and I would have been happy having him there.
It was wonderful. We've also been able to do an 80s themed party because we were born in the
80s
80s.
party.
Yeah.
So
He wasn't even born yet.
he was too because I was born in the 80s and he's older. So.
1985.
Oh, that was the year I joined the Marine Corps.
Steve, see, our party would be the 60s.
Yeah.
70s maybe.
Yeah, we would have brought out Woodstock and Freedom and Love and medical marijuana and all that stuff.
And so
Yes.
as we're able to get our name out there, we'd love to do more
Yeah.
fundraisers, but it's all about getting our name out there and letting the people know that there isn't just two parties, that there is a third option, and
Yeah.
that you don't have to be a Republican, you
Yeah.
don't have to be a Democrat, and you don't have to vote based on a party. You should always vote on your conscience.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm very happy about our campaign because of this in particular. We have folks from all parties and everything in between.
Yeah.
I have
What would that mean? Everything.
everything. We have libertarians, Republicans, Democrats, independents.
We have
everything.
yes.
So one of the things I'd like to talk about, and because you're an educator,
Mhm, yes, sir.
so I would like you to speak to Common Core and your thoughts around that, and
Yeah.
do you want to get rid of it? And if you do, how do we get that done? Because I'm telling you, it's an anchor on this country right now.
Yeah, when it first rolled out, again, I was like, okay, let's try this. Let's try something new here.
Okay.
This is. They talked about creating like this bedrock, this foundation that could equalize, education throughout the country, right? In terms of you were taking a class in Alabama, you move. Say you're a Army brat or something. Now your parents change your duty station to California, so you'd be on the same level there. What you're learning in Alabama is what you're going to learn in California. But the big problem with it, and I immediately saw this because I entered the teaching while Common Core was being rolled out, and that is just the testing that goes with it. It kills creativity, and it also takes away a lot of the local power that's needed, I think, in education.
Doesn't it
settings.
take a lot of power away from the teachers?
It takes a lot of power away from the teachers. You're teaching to a test oftentimes, and it's even. I teach high school. I think it's even more prevalent at the elementary level. My mom is a third grade teacher at Tom Williams, and she's always telling us, "Oh, we're testing for this, we're testing for that." It's like you spend more time testing than actually teaching, and that isn't helpful. And it also takes away a lot of that. The creative senses and the sensibility that the teachers themselves bring to the classroom. So you want to teach a certain lesson in one way, but now you're being told to teach it in another way because this is the format that's more aligned with the test that's going to be taken in the end, and the students are going to have to be tested on this material and specifically from this approach to that material, and that's a problem. It kills creativity. So again, I see that these were goodwill people. I think people of goodwill, and they wanted to try to do something, but in the end, it wasn't the proper approach. And my real philosophy in education is that the local school districts, the local level folks, know how to make the best decisions for their
Agreed.
students. and that's the way it should be.
You're a high school teacher?
I teach high school, yes, sir.
We're
at the same high school I graduated from,
Steve,
Rancho.
So he's a Marine with a Purple Heart. God bless your soul.
Who
took on
Rancho
an even. You teach at a Rancho?
Yeah, I teach in Rancho. Yeah.
Jesus, I'd rather be back in Iraq.
I say this sometimes. I was actually talking to a dear friend of mine. I'm like, sometimes, I find it easier running convoys through Fallujah than actually working in a public school setting. Because it's just so tiring.
Didn't you graduate from?
I graduated from Rancho.
I told my dentist I'd rather be in a combat than sit in his dentist chair. And he goes, why is that? Why is that? Am I that bad? I'm like, no, because I have no control in your dental chair.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah, I'd rather be out there duking it out with jihadis and Al-Qaeda in Iraq sometimes than having to deal with the bureaucracy that is our public education system.
But the kids are okay, though, right?
I love the kids. That's the best part of being a teacher, and this is why I want to make teaching my career. Even if I I'm successful in this bid for Congress, I plan to come back and work in education.
Good for you, bro.
I love what I do.
I appreciate that.
I love it. It's tiring, but I do love it. It's the bureaucracy
right.
that really frustrates, I think, many of our classroom teachers.
Okay. Yeah, well, we have a problem with the school board in Skorkowski. I have a big issue with that, which we can get into in a later date. But yeah, thank you for your service, not only for our country, but for our country with our kids.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I like to thank you too, Mr. D'Silva, and maybe we could bring you back, just before the general election starts.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I am a general election candidate here.
Our absolutely,
drive
you
was
are
successful. I just got the letter from the Secretary of State's office last week.
Oh, it was pending for a while, right?
It was pending for a while. We were out there collecting signatures.
How many signatures did you have?
You need 100.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Reuben doesn't tell you that he did 300 signatures. And
I got much more than what was needed and just turned it. I wanted to, make sure that I was
three
good.
times the amount.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, this is the guy. This is the guy that breathes the American dream.
Yes.
Like I'm running for office. No matter what obstacles they put in his way, he got it handled.
Right.
I like this guy.
Yeah, you have to just work hard sometimes. I've been blessed in my life. It seems to be that God is present, and
right.
even going to Rancho High School, I ended up starting at CSN, graduated from UNLV, got 2 Ivy League master's degrees, one from Penn, Yale, and it's just like, why is this happening to me? Why did I survive that night, June 6, 2007, when so many other Marines and soldiers didn't, and during that time, especially during the surge. So I asked myself, what is it about me?
What year are we talking?
2007. I was out there while the surge was taking place in Iraq, and it was again the heaviest fighting that we had seen since Vietnam. We were losing about 100 a month.
Wow.
That summer. Again, which is not on par with what was happening in Vietnam. I mean, we were losing 100 a week.
Yeah.
Different era.
Different era, yes.
Different era.
Yeah, everybody hated each other back then.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It was a very racial divided era. It was a very
It was a very politically divided era.
Women,
it's almost as
civil women's rights was come, civil rights.
Everything was taking place. It was
all that stuff.
It was a very tumultuous time in our nation's history. But I think 2000 that time period too was a pretty divided time period in our history, in our modern history. But I'll say one thing: the Vietnam vets made it a point to always come over to us younger Iraq and Afghanistan veterans and say, "Thank you for your service.
Right.
Welcome home."
Right.
I know because they didn't get the same reception.
I'm glad that the reception changed.
Oh, it did. Yeah.
Me too.
Than how it was back then.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
Yeah, and it's those guys.
Actually, that was flat out bullshit back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. If you're wearing the uniform of our nation and you're going out there to do something that the nation asks you to agree or not, you're out there working for the interests of
and then we have stolen valor like this.
Yeah. You shouldn't be criticizing the troops. Criticize the government. But don't criticize those people who are going out there and putting their life on the line for this nation.
You got any final words for our listeners?
Yes. Again, I think in this election cycle, let's look at what unites us rather than what divides us.
Right.
As an independent, I really have felt a strong disdain for this vilification that these parties have thrown back and forth across the aisle. And as Americans, I think it's really incumbent upon us to know that we can work together. We have to work together if we're going to move our country forward. It's the ethos of the founders. It's the ethos of our history coming together, having those discussions, having those debates, having those conversations. Even though we can come from very different sides, but understand that we're all Americans in the end, and that we have to overcome our differences to try to come up with something that's going to get us to the next step and move us forward.
Well,
and I think independents really have a great opportunity of doing this because we're not a part of a team. We're just willing to sit down at the table.
No, you're not part of an agenda.
You're not a part of an agenda. Yeah, and you don't have any party platforms.
Let's get clear about that because you have a great team.
Yeah,
like I get the team.
And there's no I in team. There's no I in team.
There's no I in team. Yeah. So, I think of the original founders as independents. They came in representing states, not political parties, and they forged.
By the way, they were a bunch of thugs that just said we're done.
Yeah, and they fought off the British of all them things.
And I'm going to see that movie that comes out. What was that movie that's coming out? What it was, I think, dealing with the Civil War, and it was runaway slaves
Freedom for Jones.
Yeah, I gotta go see that.
State of Jones.
I gotta go see that movie. That looks like a kicking bad butt movie.
I think let's remember that ethos though by coming together.
But Mr. D'Silva, I like to thank you for your service.
And thank you for your service as well.
And I'm glad that God was standing by your side when that horrible day took place.
Amen.
And thank you for taking one for the team because that's exactly what you did. Because if you didn't get shot, somebody else would have, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And Ms. Ortiz, you have any final words?
Well, Reuben is a wonderful candidate, but what he doesn't mention is that his team, we all volunteer. This core team doesn't get paid to...
Man, I would quit a long time ago.
And they work hard.
What the heck is that?
They work hard,
to support him.
Thankful.
So when we talk about a candidate who really cares about the people, we're looking at someone who is the future, who is ready to bring our nation forward, who is truly the American dream, and what an honor it is to represent for someone who does care so much.
And I gotta
shed a tear.
And I gotta put it out to you, Ms. Ortiz, because it's so much publicity on the two-party system, and here you are representing a candidate that's not part of that two-party system. And the odds are really against that person, and it's more so for the volunteers than it is for the candidate because the candidate believe in the vision of what they're doing, but you also have to believe in the candidate's vision of what they're doing and know that it's a uphill climb to try to get an IAP into, especially for
independent
and for a
non-partisan
for a federal seat, not even a state or a county seat, but for a federal seat, the obstacle is a lot higher. And thank you for helping.
Well, because here's what's true about that, and I give it up to Mr. D'Silva for doing what he's doing because not only did he pick a strong Irish woman, because we improvise, overcome, and adapt. And
with a Spanish last name. Let's just.
You know what? You can give her all the names you want.
She's not an O'Connor. She's a Ortiz.
But I'm telling you right now,
I'm married into it.
She married into it.
I'm married into it.
I'm telling you, she's got. I watched
you married
her
to a Marine too, right? Did you marry a Marine?
I married a Marine.
That's shocking, right there. Improvise, overcome, and adapt.
She can't stay away.
And she's an Iraq War combat medic, actually. Served in Iraq as a combat medic.
We're not here to discuss all of my accomplishments and their...
No, but here's what's real. Here's what's real. He doesn't get where he is without you and your senior aide... Because it takes people like
you what's a senior aide's name, too?
This is Martin Gomez. Goes only by Gomez. First name Gomez, last name Gomez.
Sounds like a boxer, like And he's a Marine, too, right?
Yeah, he served in my platoon, actually.
Served in your platoon. You just can't shake him, huh?
We've been friends since I've been actually both of them. I've been knowing him since I was a teenager.
Wow.
Her in middle school, and then I was 18, 19 when I actually met Gomez.
Wow.
And we've been friends since. This is the people who are around me and who are part of this campaign have been with me for years now, and I'm very thankful for
keep the longevity alive, I say.
Oh yes, yes.
I got to know Reuben in middle school, and when we were in middle school, he ran for our student council president, and he won.
Did you vote for him?
Oh no, there was religious affairs director for
I couldn't vote for him. I was
Catholic school.
I was 2 years younger when he ran and when he graduated, so I wasn't even a part of that. But my mom was the principal.
I noticed you're throwing that a lot around about you being 2 years younger and all.
Yeah, because I'm the younger one of this group, and I'm going to keep it that way. I like it. But so I got dragged to all those meetings because my mom didn't have anything else to do with me.
Right.
And, I got to watch him growing up. And, he may say that he was a party and a frat boy, but really, he's always been a kind, conscientious gentleman who has always treated people with the utmost respect, regardless if it was different schools, regardless as if it was different people.
Right.
So when I watch him go for the CD1 and when I support him, I know that my support, and I'm putting my name with someone who is kind and conscious, who has seen the worst, and who I think sees every day young students who don't always get the best in life.
Right.
But who can make something, and he's just there to guide them.
Right.
And I believe that's what we could use in D.C. I believe that he takes all of that experience, brings it to D.C., and can shake up the he can shake up what is Congress and be that voice of reason, voice of support. He's not here to talk about, you're an elephant or you're a Democrat you're a donkey, because at the end of the day, we're still American.
Right.
We shouldn't be based our person on a party, and unfortunately, that's what really has happened in a lot of recent elections. So it's just a nice breath of fresh air to see this.
All right, we have to cut you off, Ms. Ortiz, but she should be your public public relations
roles,
person.
Yeah.
But
maybe even 3.
Could give us Reuben's point of contact?
So the Reuben point of contact is
DeSilvaforCongress.com.
And that's the website where you can reach out.
Right.
He'll have his bio, anything else.
Yeah, and there's a contact button there to immediately.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you, Christina Ortiz, the financial chair for the D'Silva campaign, and Reuben D'Silva. Thank you for coming on the program, congressional candidate for District 1.
Thank you for having me.
This is Steve Sanson and Troy Warren with Veterans of Politics. Don't go away, folks. We're going to have Rodney Smith, congressional candidate for District number 4.
My name is Heidi Hanus, and I'm a marriage and family therapist. I recently opened my own practice under the name of Faith Individual and Family Counseling in the area of Summerlin. I have been practicing family therapy for 14 years, and I work well with individuals, children, teens, couples, and most of all, families. I have experience in a variety of areas, which include family conflict, communication issues, grief, anxiety, depression, anger issues, addiction, adjustment to life changes, trauma, and most forms of mood disorder. The agency work I have done has given me the experience to work with all levels of issues from severe to mild. I believe in change and positive outcome. If you are interested to begin change, you can reach me at 702-370-4244 or HANUSA@cs.com. Thank you.
Nevada Legal Forms and Tax Services have been serving Nevada. Nevada Legal Forms and Tax Services, the reliable option for your legal and tax matters. The original do-it-yourself legal source store with paralegals, registered document preparers, and enrolled agents to assist you when you need it. Need help getting divorced? Starting your business? Or just filing your taxes? Nevada Legal Forms is there for you. Nevada Legal Forms has over 1,000 legal forms and do-yourself kits for all your everyday matters. Nevada Legal Forms, the best place to start. Nevada Legal Forms and Tax Services is not a law office or have attorneys on staff and cannot give legal advice.
Nevada Legal Forms, Charleston and Valley View. Call 702-870-0977 or online at nevadalegalforms.com.
Hi, my name's Annette Levy. Did you know that we usually elect judges based solely on name recognition? So here goes. My name's Annette Levy. My name's Annette Levy. My name's Annette Levy. Now, for those of you who might want to know a little more, I have 29 years legal experience, 15 years arbitrator, 11 years judge pro tem. I'm ethical. I'm experienced. I want to be your district court judge in Department 20. And by the way, my name's Annette Levy.
Paid for by the Committee to Elect Annette Levy. If you'd like to know more, visit her website at electannette.com.
Folks, we're back. This is State Senator Troy Warren, Veterans of Politics. We have Rodney Smith, who's a congressional candidate for District Number 4. And he's also a
Purple Heart recipient.
2 Purple Heart recipients today.
The banner show today.
I know. So, Mr. Smith, could you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm a longtime resident of Nevada. Been stationed here multiple times, more times than I ever wanted. Was initially stationed in the classified area on the range complex.
Oh, what service were you in?
Air Force.
Air Force.
But also...
You got a Purple Heart for being in the Air Force?
He got a Bronze Star for being in the Air Force.
Oh, my God. What did you do? What did you drop a wrench on your foot? What happened?
You know, it's so interesting that folks say that, but I don't think our civilian community understands now that because the Army has had such a massive drawdown, which we really need to address, is that they simply don't have enough manpower to cover all of the missions that they're being tasked with. So oftentimes, Air Force
Army,
people,
there's over 1 million Army folk.
The Army has a 40% reduction in personnel.
Wow.
And it's going down
Wow,
low.
you didn't know that, bro?
Wow. Who's killing the soldiers?
Well,
It's called the federal government.
Okay.
Well, you know what? We say the federal government, but the reality is that the people are the government.
Right.
And one of the things that I'm hoping to represent is how the people need to stop being sheeple and need to raise up and take over the government and force it to operate the way it should be. And there's no reason why we have to send our troops continuously. I know people who've been deployed 6, 10, even 12 times.
12 times.
12 times. That's because
and they say that we shouldn't have PTSD
or TBI.
12 times.
Yeah, that's right. And
one time we'll do it.
And some of these, a lot of these are Air Force people because oftentimes Air Force people, and most of the time, deploy literally in Army billets.
You know, I like to know. I like to get your bio, and I like to know how you got that Purple Heart. But before you start talking, you always dress sharp, though, man. You're a sharp dresser.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Between you and my mom, you guys boost my ego.
You always dress. This guy's always dressing sharp. And I'm thinking about getting GQ over here to put him on the cover spread.
Well, you know, one thing is being a military member, uniform. And image, military.
Well, what happened to me? I think I lost that over a while. I'm like, oh no.
Well, it's been a while since you.
I'm like, no.
But you know that really is important because oftentimes people make opinions of you about your appearance. Yeah. And then to be quite honest, as an African American, sometimes opinions can be a little slanted.
Yes.
So there's uniforms in the military, and then we have uniforms in the civilian world. And I want to make sure that people will give me an opportunity to present who I really am to them before they automatically would shun me.
Right. Okay. So bio and how you got that Purple Heart.
Well, my bio is simple. I'm a farm boy originally, born in the swamps of North Carolina, just above the South Carolina line on the East Coast.
Are you around Fort Bragg or no?
No, that would be up there by No Hope Pope.
Okay.
And I'm actually at the very southeast tip or corner of North Carolina, literally just above Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay.
So
beautiful.
It's right on the beach area. And so we had a farm there. As a matter of fact, it's the same land that a slave ancestor was able to buy 15 years after being freed.
Okay.
And it's our family land, and we still own it. As a matter of fact, he's still buried there. He's buried there on the property. And during the Great Migration, moved to New York. And I like to throw that in because I like to think that I had the best of both worlds. I learned how to say yes, ma'am, and no, sir. And I learned the work ethic on the farm, because if you wanted to eat, you had to plant it or chase it. And believe it or not, where I come from,
Plant it or chase it.
Plant
I
it or
like
chase
that.
it.
you could even take your guns to school with you. So on the way home, if Thumper happened to appear, you could bring home something to eat.
I was the last. I think it was probably one of the last eras that you could actually do that. We had, had the gun racks in our trucks and stuff because we were hunters, and we actually had conversations with our principal and stuff. So I understand that.
Did you say Thumper?
Well, I was going to say Bambi, but
Either or,
Yes.
they're both good to eat.
yes.
Oh boy.
So, but what that taught me though is because we have a lot of people talking about gun issues today, and I say, well, we were able to literally carry guns to school, and we didn't have these issues. Now the power of the guns are about the same. So what's really changed? And it makes me think that sometimes we focus on something that is not going to fix the problem for political gain, and not the things that actually will fix a problem. Because there was a whole bunch of us. Matter of fact, we literally walked to school with the guns like this, had
wow.
the ammo. So we were able to do that. Something has changed. I joined the military because I went to college, and then I went to transfer.
What was your major?
Well, actually, psychology.
Huh?
And I give lectures over at CSN and occasionally at UNLV, anthropology and sociology, actually. But I started out as a psychology major. When I went to transfer to a bigger university, the money didn't make it there with me. And this was in the very early 80s, I believe.
Right.
And so I had to make a decision.
Okay.
It was either keep trying to wash dishes for free because they already had somebody doing it, or join the service. And I wanted to work. And as a farm boy, working is very important, and the service gave me an opportunity to do that and then continue my
So how old were you
education.
when you joined the Air Force?
I believe I was 20, about to turn 21. Because I went to college first, and I graduated college early.
Okay, so you must have had
high school
a high
early.
ASVAB score, huh?
Actually, yes, I had a very high ASVAB. I could pick any job that I wanted.
Wow.
And the job that I initially selected, they told me that I could not have it because it would take too long to
Or
get it.
you were too overqualified.
Crazy, right? Almost like the civilian world. But I did get it.
Sorry, sir, you're just too overqualified for this job.
But I really wanted to serve.
You might take my job. No, we can't hire you.
And we have a tradition of service.
Right.
And many people may not think about that, especially when they see African Americans, especially my era.
Right.
And we do have a tradition of service. As a matter of fact, many people may not know that when Teddy Roosevelt took San Juan Hill, actually he was losing San Juan Hill.
Okay.
And it wasn't until he called in reinforcements with the Buffalo Soldiers that they actually captured San Juan Hill.
Okay.
And we have a tradition of excellence. As a matter of fact, I knew Sam Smith here in Las Vegas. And Sam Smith, even though he was originally from Philadelphia, he had the same mindset as us on the farm. And that's whatever you do,
Right.
you always do it the best.
Did you tell me how you got that Purple Heart?
Actually, it was I got blown up.
Okay.
We were doing some things, and there was a very big bomb.
Was IAD?
It was a very large bomb that, I worked associated with unique units, and they pulled a truck close to where we were, and they took off running. And when they took off running,
Okay.
we started taking off running.
Suicide bombers.
But unfortunately, he had a time to go off.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yes,
And
thank you very much.
And God bless you for surviving that.
Well, it took, initially I was listed as MIA.
Wow.
Because of what
Shrapnel?
I was doing. And then
Was it
later-
shrapnel that?
Well, actually it was a clean wound, but because it was so massive, I bled. I almost bled out.
Whoa, you're gonna have to explain all that.
So
Massive wound. How and where? I mean, where?
Mostly my lower extremities,
Okay.
thigh and knee area. As a matter of fact, it blew one knee to the side. It had a huge gash in the other knee. And then in my right inner thigh, it was a huge hole. As a matter of fact, I could literally look inside of myself without trying. And I could see the spurter. I could see it. But because there was no one there to,
and you know that causes PTSD. I mean, you look at your body being damaged like that has a terrible effect on the mind too.
Here's the unique thing: is I didn't know I was hurt.
Really?
I cleared my people, got them out because I had some other people who were hurt. I got them out, and then as I was, you do the last check to make sure you don't leave anyone behind.
Right.
I noticed I was getting walking slower and slower, until eventually I could not move.
Did you hear about that Marine in Iraq that got stabbed in the head and he didn't realize he had a bayonet stuck in his skull?
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that because we're surviving injuries that during the Vietnam War era, people just didn't come home with. And even my injuries, as massive as it was, I got lucky that I actually listened to the self-aid buddy care classes when we went. But I couldn't use direct pressure or anything because it's just such a massive opening. I actually had to reach inside of myself. And it was slippery, but eventually I was able to, between pinching it and forcing my finger.
And you had the wherewithal to do that.
Well, you had the will to survive. It's pretty strong.
Yes.
And so I
fight or flight.
Yeah.
So I was able to grab it, but it was slippery, and then sort of wedge my hand the rest of the way in. That slow. It didn't stop the bleeding, but it slowed it down.
But a lot of people would have panicked and bled out more.
I'm going to say this about military training, and I know you're right, that can happen, but they train us so much on self-aid and buddy care. And also in defending your position and protecting your men and making sure everybody get out. Because I was in command.
What was your rank? What was your rank back then?
Actually, then I was an E5.
Okay, so you were in enlisted rank.
Right. Yeah, I came in as enlisted because I finished college once I got in. So what I did was I got them out.
Right.
And I had one guy injured. On the way out, I had that one gash, but then I looked at my knee and it was in an odd position.
Wow.
And then I looked at the other one, and I saw that it had a hole in it.
Wow.
And it was just gushing blood, too. And I happened to look down, and there was blood probably an inch thick behind me. You could tell every place that I went. Now, all of this time, I had no idea I was hurt. As a matter of fact, there was a bag of blood hanging from my leg.
How long was your physical therapy?
It took me about 2 years to recover. I wound up being paralyzed in both legs and had to get electric shock therapy to fire the nerves.
Electric shock therapy.
Yeah, actually my job for about the first 6 months was going to treatment, and because it was nerve damage, they had to sort of re-fire them. So what they would do is basically I call it electrocute because sometimes they had a juice turned up too high, but they would actually hook up electrodes to me, and they would for about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes a day.
A day.
They would fire electricity into me.
And I know that hurts.
Well, when they turned it up too much, for sure. But, you're trying to get better, and they're telling you this. And probably one of the most important days of my life was when they used a little roller thing with the sharp pins on it, and I could feel it.
Okay. We're I would just love to listen to that story. But we're running out of time. But Mr. Smith, you're running for Congressional District number 4. Why are you running for this seat? And how are you gonna? What's gonna be your focus if and when you become elected to this position?
Why I'm running for the seat is the district that I'm running for has just about all of the major military installations of Nevada located, including the test site and the classified area, which I have had a clearance to go to, which most other people won't. Also, when you look at the number of veterans, about 11% of our population is veterans. One of the largest veteran populations percentage-wise in the country. And many of us know the number 22, but it's actually more like 32 of the amount of veterans who are losing their lives. As a matter of fact, we have more veterans losing their lives at home.
Personally,
than
I think it's more than that.
Theater.
Yeah.
So somebody has to address these problems. I'm a veteran. I've dealt with the VA. I know how inefficient and ineffective that it is, and we need someone who's gone through it that's serious about fixing it. As a matter of fact, when I retired, I retired at 22 years. I got called back on active duty, stayed another 4 years. So final retirement.
The Blackwater call you?
I did some other things. And when I retired, though, finally, I didn't get a paycheck for the first year
What?
of retirement. That's right. Because of the inefficiencies in the VA in association with the DOD.
That's crap.
So I had no medical benefit. Literally, I had no medical benefits. I had nothing. It was as if I worked 26 years.
And this was a man that was blown up
Yeah.
and saved his comrades.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't that crap?
and believe it or not, now, I'm only getting a portion of my pay because of another snafu. So these are things that I've lived, and I'm living now, and I felt, and I know other people. And we need someone in Congress who has that experience to make sure that we just don't give lip service on Memorial Day and Veterans Day, but somebody who's going to keep the eye on the ball every day for the veterans. The president's number one responsibility is the safeguard and protection of this country. And he used our bravest and our greatest treasure, our young men and women. Well, just as President Lincoln said, we owe them a debt that when they come back home, that they should get all the services that they need. And somebody needs to be there in Congress. As a matter of fact, I will bring this hat with me. And when I get a chance to speak, I will put it in front of me to remind them that there is a cost. There's not just boots on the ground. These are people in those boots. This is America's greatest, America's brightest, and it really is America's future. And we need to do a better job of taking care of it.
Well, could you give us your point of contact?
Well, you can get a hold of me on Facebook as well as my website, and it's Rodney Smith for Congress, and that's the number 4, CD4.com. And it's the same thing, Rodney Smith for Congress on Facebook.
And 15 seconds, very briefly, why should the constituents of Congressional District 4 vote for you?
Veterans are at an all-time low in the United States Congress, less than 20%, and Congress is performing at all-time low. We had to do nothing Congress, now we have to do less than nothing Congress. We know that when veterans were more involved with Congress and politics, that things got done because that's what we're trained to do, is get it done. You give us the mission, you give us the training, and we'll give you the victory. I plan on bringing that same attitude to Congress, and I will ask that 20% of folks that's in Congress who are veterans to join a newly established Veterans Caucus, regardless of party, where we have common goals to get things done.
Gotcha. Rodney Smith, thank you so much for being on the program. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your sacrifice of what you've
Taking
done
one for the team.
For a country. That's Rodney Smith, who's a congressional candidate for District Number 4. This is Steve Sanson and Troy Warren, Veterans in Politics. Don't go away, folks. We'll see you next week.